Welcome back to Homework Up with Miss Score. Today we're going to be talking about our Unit 9 Day 2, solving quadratics by square roots. Now, not all quadratics can be solved by using square roots, and I know that I'm going to be able to solve these with I have square roots when I notice that there is no middle term. So notice that I end up with an ax squared plus a 0x plus a c equals 0, where my c value and my a value are both perfect squares. So in number 1, I have a k squared, which is a perfect square. I have a 16, which is a perfect square. I can then take the square root of both sides. And I do have to remember that I don't want to just include the principal, but both square roots, and that my k value is plus or minus 4. So 2 possible roots to that equation. Number 2, again, notice that I have no b value. So I want to take the square root of both sides. And when I do this, I have x equals plus or minus the square root of 27. But 27 is not in simplest radical form. So I'm going to break that down into 9 times 3, which will then give me 3 radical 3. The plus or minus being very, very important. In number 3, the number 2 is not a perfect square. So what we're going to do is we're going to divide by my 2 first. And now I have n squared equals 144. Well, now I can take the square root of both sides, and the square root of 144 plus or minus 12. Let's jump over to question 8. Question 8, I'm going to add 5 to both sides, and I end up with n squared equals 1. Now, 1 is a perfect square, so I'm going to take the square roots of both sides, and n equals plus or minus 1. Those are both of my roots. All right, let's take a look at number 10. Number 10, I'm going to take 10, whoopsies, there. I'm going to take 10 away from both sides, giving me 5m squared equals 200. I'm then going to isolate my variable, so I now have an m squared, and 200 divided by 5 is going to give me 40. Again, since I have no b term, I can take the square root of both sides. So m equals, and putting this in simplest radical form, I would talk about 4 times 10, which will give me plus or minus 2 radical 10. Hopefully that helps solve your homework. Well, actually, let's set up one more. Let's set up one more for you. Let's jump down to number 13. Number 13, I have the ratio of yellow to orange to brown Reese's Pieces is 4 to 2 to 1, and there are 28 candies in that bag. So please remember that when we are setting this up algebraically, we are going to let 4x equal my number of yellows, 2x equal my number of oranges, and 1x equal my number of brown candies. Now, hopefully you have enough information to get that started, and I will see you